In this video, I'm going to give you 10 apps and websites I use every day to help run my content agency. Welcome to the channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jay Woodard and I own a content agency based in the south of Ireland. We primarily focus on podcasts, video and filmmaking, and photography. As I said in the hook, 10 apps and websites I use every single day to run my agency. Let's jump straight into it. First things first, I use Sage for all my accounting needs. Sage.com, I believe it is. So I do all my invoicing, I do all my quotes, I can look at my tax returns, all kind of stuff. As a self-employed person, it is extremely hard to keep on top of all that stuff, so Sage is pretty handy. I found it's the one. I used a few other softwares I didn't really like, and Sage just stuck with me, so I'm going with Sage for this one, so I do recommend it. Number 2 is Stripe. As a content creator, you need to get paid. You need cash flow, and Stripe really helps. And the beauty of Sage is it connects with Stripe, so when I send an invoice to a client, they'll receive an email and they can actually click pay now and pay with a credit or debit card, which is so handy because then you're not waiting on bank transfers or IBANs or anything like that. Next thing I use is Notion. I'm about 6 months into using Notion and I do enjoy it. So I have my YouTube content schedule planned there, and I also have my to-do list for Ad32, my agency. And anything I need doing, I put it in there. And as you can see in the clips, like to do, what's done, what's coming up. And then I'll show you a brief template of the YouTube as well, where I have ideas, what's in the pipeline, what's coming, what's being written, what's being delivered, this kind of stuff. So Notion, I'll honestly hand up and say I'm not utilizing it to the very best of its ability, 100%. As of right now, it's ticking a box for me. That's my fault, and I will deep dive a bit more into it. So in the agency, a main chunk of our business is video, filmmaking, product videos, all kind of stuff. So video. So I use Final Cut Pro as my editing software. A lot of people use Premiere. It's kind of the debate. It's like Apple versus Android. Which do you use, Premiere Pro or Final Cut? Forever, I've used Final Cut. I learned it in college when I went to college for filmmaking. Whatever, how many years ago, I learned Final Cut and I've stuck with it ever since. I haven't jumped. You read the reports and Reddits and all that stuff about you're exporting a project in Premiere Pro and the whole thing crashes. I could think of nothing worse. It's very, very rare that's happened to me on Final Cut, and it's just very reliable. So yeah, Final Cut for me is numero uno. Number 5, the email software I use is Gmail. It's pretty straightforward. I like it. I have all the profiles I need on there. I know there's like Superhuman and a few other ones, but for me, Gmail is simple. I have a G Suite because I do have the website connected, so it's ad.com, if that makes sense to you. But other than that, Gmail first and foremost. Another chunk of revenue for the agency is photography. So I use Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, from all my editing. Very, very recently dabbled in CaptureOne, playing with it, but Lightroom first and foremost for batch editing, like coloring, all that kind of stuff, presets, all that stuff. And I also use Photoshop if I need to touch up stuff, or if I need to do graphics or design for a client off the cuff, because we also produce podcasts and I do the artwork on Photoshop. Number 7, I just mentioned it there, CaptureOne. So while I'm on set with the client, be a fashion shoot, a product shoot, food shoot, whatever it be, doing photography, I'll always have CaptureOne open on my Mac, so they can see, literally I click and I tether it straight to the Mac so they can see the image there and then. They approve it, they disapprove it. It's so handy. Save me showing them the back of the camera going, what do you think of that? And it's all small. It's about $30 a month. It's a bit steep, but if you have 3 or 4 shoots a month, it's well worth it. So you can kind of get final approval from the client on site. You're not showing them, because they can go back and go, I couldn't see it in your small screen. It's like, okay, but they have no excuse when they have the big screen. If you are liking these, give a thumbs up. It really does help the channel and all the people to see it. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd appreciate it. And we have new videos coming out every week. Number 8 is indown.io. Now, obviously, marketing yourself and marketing for your clients and doing videos like that for your clients is super important. Mainly for yourself is super important. So what I use is indown.io. So if I, as a business owner and as a dad and as a husband, time is of the essence. So I like to use Instagram reel templates. Super handy. Sometimes they really work well. And obviously then if you save that down and try to share it across TikTok or YouTube Shorts or wherever you're sharing it, you'll have the little watermark of the Instagram handle and stuff, and TikTok won't push that. They don't want to promote their competition. So indown.io lets you download that video with no watermarks whatsoever in 1080p. It is super handy. I do it on my phone. I literally copy and paste the link and it just downloads to my phone, and then I just share it across all the platforms. Number 9 is Senja. Senja is a new one I started recently using. Only in the last while I've actually put a testimonials page up on my website. I never did it. It was stupid not to have done it. I would highly recommend doing it as soon as you can. After every project, send over a testimonial request or form or whatever it is. It's social proof that people like your product and you're good at what you do. So I would highly recommend getting testimonials, and Senja makes it super easy to do that. It even creates the forms for you. You can literally just copy paste the link and send it off in an email and say, hey, what do you think? And you can create the form, create the questions you like in it. And then what I like as well, they have a little another section called Wall of Love. These are all changeable. You can change all the text and change whatever it's called. I call it Wall of Love. It was the template they have. But what it is I have it as a tiny little section on my website. You click it and it brings you to this page, and it's all the reviews and testimonials I've got from clients, and it just looks great. You can do star ratings if you want. You can add your own backgrounds to them. It's a really neat website. I really enjoyed using it. Setting up was a breeze, super simple. I think it's like $9 or $10 a month, which isn't too bad for what it does. And if that gets me a job, or if someone's on the fence, won't we go with his agency, or will we work with him, and they go to the Wall of Love and see the comments and the star ratings and stuff, it's a great tool to persuade a client to start working with you. And finally, number 10 is Beautiful.ai. As a content agency, you have to do proposals. I personally hate proposals, I really do. I like to sit down with a client and see if we can work together, instead of me spending 30-40 minutes down on doing proposals, you know what I mean? So what I've done is I've built a nice template in Beautiful.ai, and where I can just change details that I need to change per client. It's way more time efficient. It looks amazing. It comes out in PDF, or you can do a .jpeg or a .mov if they want to play it. But Beautiful.ai I would highly recommend for slides, presentations, proposals. If you have any questions about any of the software apps I've told you about, guys, please leave a comment below, and I will get back with what I know about it and how I use it and how I apply it. Guys, that was 10 apps and websites that I run my content agency with. I hope they help. And as I said before, please do get in contact if you have any questions about them. See you in the next video.